Welcome to our Devos this week. We are looking at 1 Peter. We're trying to examine some of the wisdom that Peter offers as a person who was so close to Jesus and a person that was so involved in the early church. It's important when you see Peter writing what we want to lean into. And today, one of the amazing accusations, one of the amazing statements that Peter makes is, essentially, it's better to be you than to be a Bible writer. It's better to be you than to be a Bible writer. I don't know if you've ever had this thought. If I was only like Paul, or if I was only like James, or if I had the faith of Mary, or if I had, the ability to really focus on what God was doing, like the widow and Elijah, like if I could have those types of powers, then I would really be able to face my situation with a different set of faith circumstances on my vision. Truth be told, that's not true. Peter, in fact, kind of makes a claim here that's rather bold. It's better that you be you. Listen to what he says. He says in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 10 through 12, he says, concerning this salvation, the prophets who prophesied about the grace that was to be yours searched and inquired carefully, inquiring what person or time the Spirit of Christ in them was indicating when he predicted the sufferings of Christ and the subsequent glories. He's talking here about the people that preached and prophesied Jesus is coming. And he talks about how it's more beneficial to be living in this time when we know who Jesus is, when we recognize what Jesus did, and when we understand how much we have to thank God for, that we have a greater advantage than even them. Believe it or not, Jesus said something similar when he talked about the character of John the Baptist in the Gospels and Matthew specifically. When John the Baptist is arrested, Jesus says that there's no greater human being living on the planet next to John. But then he says that the least in the kingdom of heaven, the least believer, the least one, is actually greater than John, that they have more opportunities than John. So I want you to realize right now that if you know Jesus, you are in an amazing circumstance in history. You have the ability to understand who Jesus is, know what Jesus did for you, have a unique relationship to Jesus Christ through the indwelling Holy Spirit, and also you're able to live in an age where you can talk about this openly. You are in a unique and privileged position. So don't lose sight of that. Don't wish to be a different person. Don't wish to live in a different time, but instead focus on now and focus on the gifting that God has given you in knowing who Jesus Christ is.